welcome.
That's not funny.
Oh, and the world's going crazy!
Stop, drop, and talk.
We've got no time for bullshit!
Stop, drop, and talk. With Ava, RJ, and B-Rock. It's Stop. Stop, drop, and talk.
Has nothing to say.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Welcome to Stop, Drop, and Talk, everybody. It's Monday night, and with me, as always, is the incredible, the beautiful, the amazing. She's my sister from another sister. That didn't come out right. She's the amazing Eva Steele, everybody. Hello, Eva.
That's me. Hello. Welcome back.
Hello.
We're just trucking along here over at Stop, Drop, and Talk. Excited to bring you guys another big, amazing, fun show. We have Lorenzo Antonucci coming up. You're not going to want to miss this. We have lots to talk to him about. This guy's career is incredible.
Yeah, pretty amazing. I'm excited to have him on, and I'm excited to have an actor on the show. So we've had some different guests on the show. Also, just a quick reminder, we are down one co-host. B-Rock is still off this week, but he will be back very soon. And also, this is the last episode of the season right now. Sorry, everybody. But good news. We are taking only a very short break, and we're coming back in the summer. And hopefully by the summer, everything will be back to normal, at least back to somewhat normal, I hope.
Oh, hi, RJ's mom. She says hi to us.
Oh, Mama Hale's on the show. Say hi to her. So I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited that things are looking up. We're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Everyone's getting vaccinated. I got my second shot. And it sucked. It knocked me on my ass.
What?
It was terrible. It was, I got like all the fever symptoms, chills. I felt sick. I was dizzy. I had headaches. I was like trying to sleep. I couldn't sleep. I'd wake up like 3 or 4 times at night, but I forced myself to sleep. And I had a writing session the next day, and I was just like, pushing through it.
Did you have a feverish writing session?
It was, yes. We wrote some sick songs. What about you, Eva? Have you gotten your second shot yet?
I haven't gotten my first.
Oh, no. You haven't even gotten your first shot yet?
No, I have not gotten it yet.
Oh, well, don't worry. I'm sure that you'll get it soon. Are you scheduled to get it anytime soon or planning on it?
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Okay. Also, I heard some bad news about your cat.
Yeah, my cat. She was 13. She passed away today. But
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Luckily, I mean, she was old, and she went in her sleep, so it wasn't like traumatic for, having to take her into the vet and all that stuff to put her down. So if you're going to lose a pet, I guess that's the way to do it.
Yeah, at least it's peaceful,
Yeah.
Right?
And she had a good long life, and she was very loved.
Yeah, she was 13. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. As an insane dog dad, I know that I'm not looking forward to that day.
No.
Let's not even think about that. Let's get into the show. What do you say? Should we do some Fucks Given for the last time this season? All right, last Fucks Given. Let's go.
Some people got many and others have none. We're all going crazy, so come and get one. It's some Fucks Given.
And we're getting started with the death of DMX. Oh. God, what is with all the death? Your cat, and then DMX, and Prince Philip, and all that. And oh man,
it's wild. And
it's
it's crazy because the other day when he died, what was it, Friday? Something like that.
Yeah. He died Friday at the age of 50, and his family said that he had been hospitalized since April 2nd after suffering a heart attack.
From what I understand, it was an overdose-induced heart attack. So, I don't know that that's confirmed.
They haven't done the autopsy yet, and they're saying that an autopsy will be conducted to confirm his cause of death. And but he has long struggled with drug addiction from the things that I've researched about that. So,
well, but everything that I've watched on him, everybody said, even with all of his struggles, like how positive and uplifting and everything that he was, and that he was such actually a good influence despite his personal struggles, which is kind of, it's a bummer that he had to deal with all that. But so when this happened on Friday, I was like, all right, fuck it. DMX playlist. I had to drive to Omaha. It's 7 hours. I did not listen to DMX the whole 7 hours, but a good chunk of it. I forgot.
And we going up. Oh, we did.
I forgot how many songs of his I knew, and like how many that I was like, oh, this was my jam.
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up and that's a Rough Riders roll.
That's the new mom anthem.
Open up shop. Yeah. Oh, it's the new mom anthem. Is that what it is? Is that
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
up in here? Oh,
Yeah.
no, we were bumping some DMX. I love DMX, man. I was raised on that shit. So
Yeah,
that was a
absolutely.
bummer. Oh, well.
Absolutely. That was like a high school thing for me. Like, got the subs in the car, cranked that shit up.
Yeah,
Rough
man.
Riders anthem.
Shit's gnarly. So rest in peace, King.
Yes, rest in peace. Another
Rest in
death that we mentioned was Prince Philip, 99 years old. No confirmation on what he has passed away from as of right now.
Well, he could have just passed away from being 99. That might have been it.
It's very, very possible. It's very possible.
Did I say Prince Philip or Prince Harry earlier?
You said Philip.
Okay, good. Thank you. Yes. I have a tendency to screw up things, and that's why I shouldn't have a career in talking.
Oh my gosh.
But,
well, we've got one. Too late now. Yes,
Prince Philip died at the ripe age of 99. He almost made it to triple digits. Oh well.
Almost.
But you know what? What the hell, Prince Harry? What the hell, Meghan? You killed Grandpa. What the hell? Like, did Prince Harry and Meghan Markle kill Grandpa?
Maybe the stress from the Oprah interview got to him. Who knows?
Oh God, I hope not.
From what I understand, I thought he actually had.
A little late on the sound effects there. Sorry.
From what I understand, he actually had a pretty good relationship with Philip and Elizabeth.
Well, yeah, that's good to hear. I remember in that documentary, or I'm sorry, in that interview with Oprah, he said it wasn't his grandpa. So, again, rest in peace, King. Hope you're. Thank you for living so long. Almost made it to triple digits, but you know what? He must have. I was just saying to Dan, like, do these people live so long because they have the best health care that you can even imagine because they're royalty, or is it because they live a relatively stress-free life?
Yeah, I think it's the bidets.
It's the bidet. That's it. It's the bidet. Everybody get a bidet, and that will help you live.
Johnny Christ can confirm.
There we go. So again, Prince Philip, rest in peace, King, and our condolences go to the family. And it kind of sucks that Harry and Meghan have to now immediately go back. That might be a little awkward after that interview. Ooh, yeah, right. Oops. Yeah.
So speaking of getting old and trying to fight it, I hear there's some shit going on in Silicon Valley.
Great segue. Let me tell you about something I just learned about. So something brand new happened. Oh yeah, there we go. The Silicon Valley. Yes, I actually love that show, that HBO show. So Silicon Valley, people are spending $8,000 to inject themselves with the blood of young people. There they are.
Which is like a real thing. Like, this is not a joke. People are actually doing this.
Yeah, they didn't steal this from a throwaway script from the show Silicon Valley. This is actually happening. They're actually trying to hack their own bodies into immortality. So it's a startup company called Ambrosia, and it's marketed young blood plasma harvested from use between the ages of 16 and 25 years old, claiming that it rejuvenates organs and fights the effects of aging. So it's $8,000 for a single liter, or discounted to $12,000 for 2 liters. So it's supposed to counteract Alzheimer's, heart disease, memory loss, and even PTSD and multiple sclerosis. The company performed its own clinical trial, and the results were really positive. But according to the founder, Jesse Karmazin, I think is his name. But we have to take his word for it because they never published the results of the trial. And shockingly, the Food and Drug Administration is urging people not to do it. The FDA commissioner, Scott Gottlieb, whatever these weird names I can't pronounce, he told CNBC that plasma infusion is not a benign intervention, is what he said. The FDA says there's no information on the appropriate dosing either. The agency is concerned with how much young plasma these clinics are pumping into their patients. Patient. Yeah, new word. Large volumes of plasma can be associated with significant risk, they say, including infections, allergies, respiratory, and cardiovascular reactions. That's what he said. So, maybe don't do that.
I would love to see the trial, statistics on this eventually, because especially for, people like myself, I know a lot of women, we're out here doing, Botox and chemical peels and all this stuff to stay looking and feeling and all this, young, and eating salads and running and trying to take care of ourselves and all that bullshit. If it works, it might not be a bad idea. People are paying more than that for a boob job.
But the FDA is not saying don't get Botox or don't eat salads.
True.
It's FDA approved. So this one's not FDA approved is what they're saying. So,
which is true. But if the trials, the statistics look good and the FDA finally at one point is like, well, okay, there's a way to do it, I would happily spend $12,000.
I can't see anything wrong with, I mean, people get blood transfusions all the time. And if it's clean blood, I mean, I know Keith Richards gets blood transfusions all the time, but and I guess that's what keeps him going.
That's why he's not dead.
That's why he's not dead. Maybe Prince Harry. I'm sorry, Prince Philip. See, I did it again. Prince Philip. Maybe he's getting blood transfusions. Anyway, this just reminds me of, remember the raw water trend?
No.
When everyone was drinking the raw water. It was a fad that had Silicon Valley people shelling out money for untreated water that shockingly made people sick. How about that? Weird, right?
You mean like tap water?
It was just like unfiltered, untreated, just raw water. I don't know.
So that would be like, so there's actually like obviously a filtration system for cities. So even your tap water is filtered a little bit. So what they must have been drinking was shit from like rivers. And that has oh my God, that has that's so much bacteria in it. It will absolutely make you sick.
I've watched enough Naked and Afraid to know that if you don't boil the water, you're going to have a bad time. That's so.
Sometimes from both ends, you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah, exactly. So, so that's pretty weird. But
it's bizarre the things that people do, though, that people will hop on a trend and be like, that sounds great. Let's do that. Let's try it. Anything to stay young.
If you got the money for it and you can afford some 25-year-old kid's blood, just make sure it's tested, make sure it's clean. Because, I mean, if it does increase the risk of infections or respiratory or cardiovascular problems, and it's not medically tested or it's not FDA approved, then you don't really know what you're getting.
Well, no. But I've got a few years, for them to decide if this is something that works or not, because it said ages 16 to 25. I'll have a 16-year-old in 4.5 years. I'll just borrow hers. There you go.
That's you're good. You've got a teenager right there in your family, and you know that her blood is probably the same as yours. So
yeah.
But this, what was I gonna say? Oh God, it's just so, So here's the thing too, is that like 5-10 years ago, there was a stigma around Botox where they're like, Botox is, it freezes your face, it's bad for you, it gives you. Poisons you or whatever. And now people get Botox like they go to the dentist. I'm late for my Botox appointment. It's like so common now. So who knows? It might turn out to be that. And if it does, then congratulations, 16 to 25-year-olds. Then maybe now you can be like, I have a job. Yeah. It's like in that movie, The Jerk. Like, I get 3 cookies and a glass of orange juice, and all I have to do is donate a pint of blood.
Oh my God. I forgot about that movie.
We've been binging on some Steve Martin movies. I love me some Steve Martin.
That is hilarious.
The lonely guy. Yeah.
That is hilarious. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's funny because I schedule my Botox appointments like I do dentist appointments. So that's hilarious that you made that correlation.
Yeah. No, I mean, the stigma is going away with that stuff. And more guys are doing it. They're like, hey, I don't want to get old. I don't want to look like crap. I saw a split photo of identical twins. Emily brought this to my attention. And it was one twin that did Botox and then one twin that didn't. And you can really see the difference. Like they both obviously aged fine. They have like some smile lines and stuff. But the one that didn't do Botox had like a lot of extra lines, a lot of extra wrinkles. So it's
preventative.
It's preventative. Exactly. That's exactly what it
is. Is why I started Botox in my 20s.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Can't get worse.
I don't want to look old. I don't want to get old.
Can't get worse if you can't move your face.
Exactly. Yeah.
Worth it. It sounds like our guest is at the door. We're going to bring him in a little earlier than we normally do, but I know you guys are all really excited. We've got Lorenzo Antonucci joining us. RJ?
Yeah. Let's let him in. I think it's time for him to. Let him in, Dan.
What's up,
it's
guys?
Lorenzo.
Hey.
What's up, dude?
What's going on?
Thank you so much for coming on our show, coming on Stop, Drop, and Talk. Nice to actually meet you. We're big fans of the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And sorry for my messy hairdo. You know what I mean? I just washed it and it's all over the place.
Dude, I'm still rocking my COVID look, so don't worry. I still got my quarantine cut.
I love the COVID look. It looks great. How are you guys?
You know what? The headphones cover up a lot of the cowlicks and the things that are sprout. You don't want to see what's behind these headphones.
Yeah, there's a reason I got a hat on today. That's for sure.
Yeah, bad hair day for all of us, but everybody looks fantastic. How's that happen? How's that work?
Hey,
How does that happen?
We're a good-looking bunch this week. I know,
So
man.
we're going to get into this, and we're going to talk to you about Paradise City here in a little bit. Not quite yet, but I do want to let you know I finished the series today. I binged it, the whole series today.
How long?
Well, I was a passenger in a vehicle for 7 hours, so I put in my AirPods and
7
just knocked the whole
about
thing out.
The amount of time of the show. It's about 40 minutes an episode.
Yeah, and it was fantastic. But we're going to get into that here in a minute. I first want to talk to you about Sworn Enemy, and you were a founding member of that, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey,
Oh my God, look at that.
Which is like, it was for those that, I mean, I say like for those that don't know, but I'm also like, how could you not know? It was like kind of like a metalcore, like punk thrasher band. Like that's hardcore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, we were a hybrid of, I mean, you know, I was always, I mean, that's fucking, look at Jamie.
Look at that. That is awesome.
That was me in my Puerto Rican life. You know, I'm a Puerto Rican, so I have my do-rag on, you know, I can't, you know, I got to
represent.
That's in Puerto Rico. That's in Puerto Rico.
We got a producer that digs deep for photos, so you might see some that are a little surprising.
They're awesome, actually. You guys, this is an awesome show. The way you guys got this. That's Ozfest. The late Paulie Antoniani right there in the middle. That handsome stud. I miss him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you then made the transition, obviously, from music into acting, which is an interesting transition because that's a hard transition for a lot of people.
Brutal.
Is it like what's brutal about it? Is it like people like don't want to take you seriously, or?
Well, I guess I could do it in a nutshell. Sworn Enemy was a crazy journey that every rock star that was a friend of ours, every big band in the world that you can imagine that loved us, and we were, you know, all the big, you know, we were like the band's band, you know what I mean? That even though we had a great career, we were signed to a major at one time, we had a great successful churner, but everyone always used to be like, oh, Lorenzo's a star, he's so funny, he should be on TV. Like, I don't know how to fucking do any of it. But cut to 2013, I had a studio in Austria in Salzburg, and I was, you know, back and forth from New York and Austria, and I was doing a lot of the you know, recording bands that, because you know, Sworn Enemy did really well in Europe, it was easy to kind of, you know, like grab, you know, kind of lure people in by, you know, posting on Facebook, whatever. So cut to Ash calls me up and he's like, yo, what are you doing with your career? What's going on? And he was our agent for a long time for Sworn Enemy. He started killing it with Sumerian and Pantheon Agency. So, and then he was doing a bunch of, there he is, Mike Maury, look at that.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So we had a couple of, you know, I would say there was a couple of different events that happened. He calls me up. He's saying, why don't you move to LA? Long story short, come to move to LA. And I'm like, what am I going to do in LA? He's like, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll make you a wrestler. Cut to, I'm fucking wrestling on
no way. Oh
yeah,
my God. Look at that.
Look at that.
Oh,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, so I started wrestling, and I became, you know, I have a history of it. My family's from Puerto Rico, is all big wrestlers. You know, they were famous in Puerto Rico, and they, you know, big part of the lucha. And Jose Estrada, Rico Suave, that's all my blood, and Los Boricuas. That's like my family descent. So I felt like I gravitated towards it because of the blood. Yeah. So cut to, I'm training with The Rock's cousin Rikishi and Gangrel, and I was here to wrestle. In 2013, I had no idea about acting still. It was still like, you know, I want to be Stallone. I want to be De Niro, you know, whatever. Never thought about it.
So you wanted to get into like the WWE and like be a professional wrestler?
Yeah, we were trying to get the tryouts. You know, that's what I was training for with NXT. I was training with Knox Pro to get in NXT because they had all the connections, but we also had our own ways of thinking outside the box. And getting in the room with these guys, but it just I hurt myself a few times. I fell on my neck twice, and I was just like, I was a little spooked because I was 35 years old already. I wasn't a kid, and my uncle was like, Jose Estrada was like, he goes, I started at 20 years old. I didn't get into the WWF until I was 27. He goes, it's too late, bro. He spooked the shit out of me, and I was like, it took the wind out of my sails, but he was right because only Diamond Dallas Page was the only real like guy to make it in his 35 years old to start and really go from like that older age.
Yeah,
I was already like, I wasn't in love with it. You have to be in love with the business to really do it. But I was in love with, being on camera because I would love to do our videos and whatever I would do in that way. But I didn't know the acting world. So cut to now. One of the guys in school was like, you should be an actor. You should go get your headshots. I didn't know what a headshot was. I didn't know what an audition was. And that was all 2013, 2014.
Well, I know a lot of wrestlers that are professional wrestlers, and I'm friends with a lot of them. And you're right. But it really is legit. Like, you are beating the crap out of yourself every single night. And the risk of injury is very high. And if you get hurt or injured, you're a free agent. If you can't make a show, then you don't get a paycheck. It's real easy to kind of be taken out. And a lot of them say the same thing. One of my really good friends, he does it full time, and he's trying to support his family, and he beats the crap out of himself just to support his family. And he's just constantly hurting, constantly in pain. He knows he's going to be messed up when he gets older. So it was probably a good choice. Just focusing on the acting. It's a lot less physically taxing.
Well, and not to mention, too, the years of like Sworn Enemy, like you guys went hard. Like that wasn't easy on your body either. So
that is amazing. Oh my God.
Yeah, I love that shot.
So then the transition, into acting, now obviously it's going well for you. You just wrapped a movie with Bruce Willis.
Who's that guy?
Yeah, congrats. Yeah, right.
Yeah, just wrapped that movie with Bruce Willis, and you're actually a main character in that.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing. It's called Reactor. It'll probably change because of just the business of the name. I don't think that it's going to be Reactor, but it might stay Reactor. But it's Patrick Muldoon, Bruce Willis, Matthew Marsden, Johnny Mesner, great cast. But so at least I'm building. I was on Ballers. I was on 2 episodes opposite Dwayne Johnson. There you go.
Speaking of wrestlers,
there you go. You're with The Rock.
Yeah, that is the best, right? You're with the best right there. Who's better than The Rock and Stallone? And come on.
He's like the most hardest working guy on the world.
Yeah, and it's great to kind of try to follow those footsteps because it's inspiring, and it inspires people that look up to you, even though they can look up to him too. But they watch your journey as well, and they see how hard it is to come from nothing and pivot from a band that we weren't successful. We did good around the world for 10 years, but we weren't like killing it. Like, we were making hundreds of thousands of dollars every tour, and we could come home and just live good for a few months. We all had to come home, everybody walk away with $6,000-7,000 at the most, and then after a tour, and then freaking go back to work swinging a hammer, or driving a cab, whatever it was that we had to do. I was a construction guy.
It's definitely a common thing with heavier bands. They do really well over Europe, but then in the States, it doesn't. It's a lot harder. Like they love heavy music over there.
Yeah. And at least I was able to I learned so much from that journey. I've experienced so much, I will never take it for granted. Ozfest was the best time of my life. I wish we could relive that. That was the craziest. Being on that tour for 2 months, those were my drinking days. I haven't had a drink in 7 years. Tomorrow is 7 years.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's tomorrow.
Thank you.
Good for you, dude.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about sobriety here and mental health and all that. So you're in good company.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Good for you.
Thanks.
So do you think there's hope for me then, going from music and maybe possibly pursuing an acting career?
Maybe if they make a sequel to Good Burger.
Oh God.
I mean, hey,
Who could I play? in
Or
Good
Mallrats.
Yeah. I'll take one of them. Yeah, maybe if Netflix does a reboot or something, I'll audition for that. By the way, my mom thinks you're hot. So, do you have any single friends in Nashville looking to date a mature woman? You know.
Or do you have any plans to move to Nashville and date a
Yeah.
mature woman?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, Nashville's not really in my pipeline as far as I do love.
No, you're better off there. You're fine.
I do like Palm Springs and Miami and Georgia. Those are like the ones I'm manifesting to have little spots. But you know, that's those are my favorite places.
Probably get a place in South Dakota pretty cheap.
RJ,
South Dakota, you could probably get something cheap there. Sorry.
you can't actually. We have the number 2 real estate market in the country right now.
Woo, there we
Like
go.
us locals can't even buy a house.
Are you in South Dakota?
Yep, born and raised.
I got a great story for South Dakota. I mean, it's not
great.
It's not a great.
I got the
story.
cow sound effects queued up. Here we go.
It's not a great story. It's a story, a tour story, but it's not a great story because it was spooky. I saw a guitar player. We pulled up. Our bus driver pulls up to what the fuck is it called? I'm spacing on the
truck stopper.
No, the 4 headstones, the Stonehenge.
Mount Rushmore.
Mount
Rushmore.
Stonehenge was in England. We did that too. That's another story.
The American Stonehenge. Sorry.
So we go to Mount Rushmore, and my guitar player at the time, Jamin, was like he wouldn't leave his bunk, and he was nervous, and he was like, "I'm not going out there. I'm not going out there." We're like, "What's the matter? What's the matter?" I mean, and he was just like, "I'm not going out there, dude. Whatever." And we all went out there. We all went outside and we went and experienced it. I don't think we did the tour of the chopper or nothing like that. Cut to, we come back in the bus and he tells us that when he was a kid, his dad took him there. And they were supposed to be on the chopper that crashed into the freaking mountain. Like they missed it. And he remembers seeing the chopper explode into the mountain.
Oh my God.
And it's not a great. It's a memory. What I'm saying is like it's a memory of being on tour. So it's a story, but it's like crazy that it happened. And he was just panicking in the bunk, and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck, dude?"
It's like a Final Destination relive moment, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like I said, born and raised here in South Dakota, and I live 30 minutes from Mount Rushmore. Don't push the button, RJ. I live 30 minutes from Mount Rushmore. Like that's it. Wow. It's not, I don't live far at all, but I've never ever done a helicopter tour because I'm terrified of exactly that, because I've heard of these things happening and like few and far between, obviously, but I just don't really know if I ever want to get in a helicopter.
Helicopter shoved up right up in Lincoln's nose. You don't want that to happen.
It's not like the movie Richie Rich. That's not like a real thing, you know, where they like, you can't go inside of it. And also that secret room, the panic room in National Treasure.
Oh, yeah.
Is not a real thing.
Oh, by the way, you said your guitar player's name was Jamin, right?
Yeah, Jamin Hunt.
Did they ever call him Jamin?
Jamin. No, we called him Huntenberg because he was turning into this crazy Huntenberg when he was bombed. He would love the Jägermeister, that man.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
My gosh, no.
Especially if you're
thanks.
sponsored by. Were you guys ever sponsored by like Jaeger?
Yeah.
That's
you know what the alcohol and the booze does to the damn.
I had to stop for a while because it's so accessible when you're on tour, and it's so
every day.
It's so important. And even if you don't consider yourself an alcoholic, I think it's really good just to give yourself a cleanse, especially if you're in the touring industry. I think the problem is we take care of our crew and we give them bottles and bottles of Jameson and everything. But the problem is we're slowly turning them into alcoholics. So like we encourage them, like, hey, when you're home, like just don't drink. Just wait. You know, just give yourself a break. And it's important to do that.
You're a drummer, so you sweat it out at least. You know, but you sweat it out.
You know, I can relate to my friends who are wrestlers because they beat themselves up every night. Drumming is not the same, but it's very similar in the sense that you are bashing your you're absorbing shock into your hands and your wrists by bashing wood into metal for like an hour and a half every single night. And it can really take a toll on your body, your shoulders, your wrists, your back, and everything. So I take my physical health very, very seriously too. But you're right. Drinking a lot on tour can also just affect your joints, how you feel, your muscles and everything. And you want to be
inflammation.
in tip-top shape. You want to be in tip-top shape. You want to put on a kick-ass show for the people that are spending their money to see you. So it's very important. I love touring and just like taking it real easy.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to tour in a band and be sober. So I would love to see what that's like because, you know, I was always the party animal on tour. And, you know,
well, are you sober to the point like you don't even do weed or anything like that?
No, I'll do CBD.
Okay, because one of my favorite things I love to do is I would always ask my tour manager to put a case of O'Doul's or alcohol-free beer. It's delicious.
Me and Randy Lamagod, we love.
Yes.
NAs, man.
Oh, dude, and the NA, the whole NA industry is booming. Yeah. There's so many great NA beers out there, and really craft brew. Yeah, there's so many craft beer companies, especially in Nashville, that make kick-ass NAs. So what my favorite thing to do was, if we were hanging out after the show, is I would take a tiny. I'm real lightweight when it comes to like weed or edibles. I take a tiny little bit of a gummy bear, like 2.5 milligrams, just enough to make myself giggly. And I would sip on O'Doul's or NA beer, and I would kind of trick my brain into thinking that I'm like partying. But I was just feeling like the floaty buzz, kind of high from the edible, and drinking non-alcoholic beer. And it was honestly like the most fun hang because I'm just laughing, everything's hilarious, and the next day I feel fine.
Yes, I love CBD. I get bombed my own way now. I get CBD, smoke CBD weed, have a non-alcoholic beer, and I'm fucking laughing. I'm having a good time, and I'm like enjoying life. It's just a different world. I mean, you know,
it's way easier on your body too.
I smoked a CBD joint the other day, like an actual joint, like made with the actual herb, but it doesn't THC in it. It's just, but I'm so sensitive to it that even the CBD, I feel something, you know. But it's not too
like just zen, relaxed.
Yeah,
you don't get it doesn't have the psychoactive, and like all the THC stuff in there that gets you all fucking panicky and high but you still get the munchies though, so I gotta stay away.
I got buffalo Cheez-Its in my closet.
Yeah.
That happened to me. I've been doing keto. And I've been doing so good on it for like 6 weeks. And then
pizza happened, right?
I ate a gummy this weekend.
Oh no!
I know. What? I had a gummy this weekend, and then I was like, you know, went out to eat with friends, and I was like, you have donut holes? I want some of those. And I ate donut holes, chips and queso, pizza, like all in the same sitting. And I've never felt so sick in my life.
Yeah.
So anyway,
let's talk Paradise. Let's talk Paradise City. What do you say?
Yeah. Okay. So Paradise City, for those that don't know, you can stream it. I streamed it on Amazon Prime. It debuted #1 on Amazon, iTunes, Google Play, and Fandango.
Congratulations!
Which is wild. So basically, I can't with him in that soundboard.
I'm sorry.
I'm apologizing for him. No, you're great. I'm just kidding. So before we jump into this, we're going to check out a little clip of Paradise City.
Awesome.
Roll it, Dan.
Maybe.
How you doing? So promoters said we ain't getting any beer or food.
I'm sorry, Paulie. He said he only pre-sold 7 tickets.
We used to sell this place out in advance.
I know.
What's happening?
You have that relentless call starting in 1 minute.
Paulie, let me call you back, all right?
All right.
Fuck is going on?
7 pre-sales is going on.
Don't put this on me. Don't put this on me.
You're the manager. You're supposed to manage shit.
Answer the fucking question,
ain't my fucking
dude.
fault. All right, this shit's shot. I'm not in the band. You're on the flyer. I'm not.
Yo.
Hey.
What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Do you know where we can load in?
Yeah. In the front. Right there.
Right there?
Yeah.
All right, to the front. Guys, loading in through the front. We're gonna back it in. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
You will never break me down.
Hey, Elias. It's the claw machine calling again. That shit was funny. But I don't need anything though.
Okay.
Wow, man. Amazing.
So jumping into this is bizarre because you guys had no outlet attached to this. You shopped it after it was filmed, and look at it now, debuting at #1.
Hell yeah.
On so many outlets.
It goes to show you that Hollywood, or it just goes to show you that people don't know everything. People don't know anything. Nobody knows anything. Like I think it was William Goldman. I think that was his quote. Like, nobody knows anything, and if it's a short shot, it's just a lucky guess in a nutshell. And look what we've done on our own independently. The thing is charted out the best TV, like charted #1 on iTunes as the #1 TV show, not like #1 drama. It did that. I think that we're just very grateful and lucky to be in this position. It's doing awesome. Hey, there she is. Drea.
Yeah.
She's a rocker. She loves the rock music.
Amazing.
Well, and she was married. Wasn't she married to Shooter Jennings?
I think they have kids.
Yeah, they've got a couple kids. Yeah. I've worked with
kids.
Shooter before. He's a great guy. So tell me, what was your role in helping get this series made? Because I know that obviously you're way more involved, than just playing your character.
I'm an executive producer of the entire series. I'm a writer on 2 episodes. I helped creatively from day one. I'm pretty much Ash's partner, and he's the creator. He directed every episode, and is our, executive producer, like as well as I am, and written all the episodes. So he's we collaborated on all fronts with casting, him and I, and that's actually American Satan. That's a long time ago too. That's cool.
Damn.
We collaborated on a lot, and we kind of just worked on casting it on our own, and then we hired a casting director to help us facilitate the rest. Natalie and Marie, she's definitely talented. She's awesome. She's a sister. She's definitely, the late Cameron Boyce.
Yes, Cameron. You worked with some really big names on this. Cameron Boyce, Drea De Matteo. There's so many big names in the show. And sorry to say that Cameron passed away shortly after filming Wrapped. Epileptic seizure, from what I understand. And I think the most unfortunate thing about this is that he was really, really ready to break out of that Disney role and onto the scene. Like, he was going places. So it's amazing. When I watched this today, it was amazing to watch the evolution from where he started to his character in Paradise City. He was incredible. It was just fun to watch that. So, and I understand you two got fairly close during filming.
Yeah, we all did. He was just a sweetheart. We did, and our characters was gonna elevate together, because it's really kind of like me and Ash's story. How I met Ash, and he was a singer in the band Reflux. So it's kind of like our story together, and then Maya was his story with me. It's like a hybrid of a lot of Ash and a lot of me, in that world as well. And Cameron really delivered. You would think he was like a metal or a hardcore kid. Like, honestly, he brought it. He brought it. He knew, he did his research. That kid was just, he had it all. And
I think a lot of people that didn't know his story prior to Paradise City, if they're just watching this, would be very surprised to know that he was a Disney kid. He was a kid actor, was Adam Sandler's kid, and Grown Ups and all that stuff too. But yeah, I mean, it's a great role for him to see him in. And I think that obviously you can't speak for him, but I think he'd be super proud of it. The way he did this.
He crushed it.
Absolutely. Did he do his own vocals?
No, that's actually Bad Omens. That's actually.
Okay. So here's the other thing. So Bella Thorne in Paradise City didn't your sister do her vocals?
Yeah.
Oh.
Lizzie did her vocals in that.
I know, but I don't know if the public's supposed to know. If that's supposed to be some other.
I actually don't know that.
Surprise.
That's cool. All right, surprise.
Well, yeah, if the cat's out the bag, Lizzie did it. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Right on.
Interesting. Sorry, didn't know.
I didn't know.
Interesting. Well, I could obviously tell. I know Lizzie's vocals, so I heard that and I was like, "Oh, that's Lizzie."
It totally makes sense because we know so many people associated with the show. We've done so many shows with Lamb of God. We've done shows with Black Veil Bride. So it is kind of a cool thing to see all these rock musicians now doing a TV show and killing it. But
Yeah.
you know.
So, and then there's a lot of, like you said, a lot of ties between you and Ash's stories. You said, you know, the band Reflux, and Cameron Boyce's band was the Flux in the show, and your character's name was Polly, which was one of your best friends. That it was kind of a tribute to him. He also has passed away.
Yeah. How morbid, right? It's crazy. It's true. He passed away the day I was blocking scenes and starting my first day on set of Ballers. How crazy is that? The day he died.
That's wild.
Well,
wild.
Are you close with any of their families? Are you close with Cameron's family at all? Like, have you talked?
No, I never met nobody. I met his did I meet his sister? I might have met his sister. I mean, I know Boo Boo and his sister. They're close with Cameron's family, and I know that there's been some really nice conversations with Ash. I think he helped donate some to the foundation and stuff like that, which is a lot of admirable stuff that came from Ash. And, you know, on behalf of Paradise City and just what we wanted to do, tributing to, you know, his passing. And, you know, I did have amazing conversations with him. He was very sweet. He did teach me a lot about acting as well. It was great to work opposite of him. I'm honored to be in his life and for him to be in my life. You know, it was a weird, short time to, you know him and meet him. And it was, you know, the last time I met him, the last time I saw him was working on that day, which was those scenes, because that was in January of 2019. We had to pick up the show where we did it in blocks. You know, we did the end of 2018 was the first like 30 days or 28 days or whatever, and then we went into 2019 and you had to finish it all up.
Yeah.
And that was the last time I saw him, and I remember giving him a hug, and I was just like, I never seen him again. And then 5-6 months later, he passes away.
Well, our hearts go out to their his family if they're watching. So the foundation, can you tell us any information on that, like where people can help out?
Well, it's just Cameron Boyce Foundation. I know that that's what it's called. I mean, I think they have an Instagram. I mean, I'm sure they have a site for it. You know, I would just Google that. Okay. And there's ways to help, you know, on anything. I think it's catered to the, you know, having epilepsy and stuff like that, you know, for
right.
There you go, the Cameron Boyce Foundation.
There it is. Yeah. So everybody look that up, and we'll include some links for y'all.
Yeah.
Man. But what an incredible performance, and you're right. It's a shame. I kind of felt like he had potential to really have. It felt like his career was really starting to take off. And,
this was giving him the opportunity to be someone so outside of the box of what he's used to being, and he, you know, he was just a dynamo. He had it all.
So
he had it all.
That's cool that he was able to help you with acting, because you're right. He's been doing it since day one, since he was so young.
Pretty much.
I'm sorry, Eva. What were we gonna say?
No, you're good. I was just going to talk a little more about the series and how people don't realize how stacked this cast is.
Yeah.
Like it is. I'm like, oh my God, that's so-and-so. Oh my God, that's so-and-so. Or those are so-and-so's vocals, or, you know, just all of that stuff. But your character, Polly's character, Polly, your story was the biggest damn cliffhanger. I was like, what? Well, what? They're like, oh yeah, Polly's been calling me all day. Okay. And he's walking down the street by himself with his guitar. I'm like, but now what?
Yeah. Right.
Well, you got to wait for season 2.
When can we expect season 2?
Season
you know,
2
we're giving up as much, you know, we're giving up for it. You know, we aren't taking no for an answer. So, you know, if God willing, and someone says, hey, we have so much, I mean, I would say we have a lot of leverage.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fans. We have real fans. Organically, it's growing. And it's just like I have people that aren't in this business, aren't in our world, like rock, and they don't love this the way we do that. Obviously, this is the perfect audience. We're the perfect demographic for it.
Absolutely.
But nobody, like people that I've talked to that are completely like into hip hop, or they're into like country, or they're not into this at all. They're like, yo, the show is awesome.
It's so good.
It kind of gives them an insight into the life of a heavy band and what they have to deal with being kind of the underdogs of the music business.
It's very educational. It's very educational about the music business because it's just a different take than the Empires and Nashville's and other music shows that are successful, and they're awesome, and I love them all. And I'm just saying, like, we have a different take, and that's how we feel is kind of putting us into this new a new realm, because Entourage, we have two characters from Entourage. Well, three,
and three from Sons. Three from Sons of Anarchy.
Sons, but we have three from Entourage, and I'm going to tell you why. Perry Reeves and Reese, obviously Billy Walsh and Ari Gold's wife's character. Yeah. But Bella Thorne was in an episode. And and they were looking for Saigon. Turtle's looking for Saigon in all those rooms, and he's like, "Where's Saigon?" He opens the door, and it's Bella Thorne as a kid, and they, "Where's Saigon?" She goes, "What?" That's it.
and a star was born. How about that?
Yes,
How about
exactly.
that?
And she absolutely kills it in Paradise City. Obviously she's a great actress anyway, but seeing her in Paradise City. So this is like obviously a lifestyle that RJ's familiar with, that I'm familiar with, and so watching this, I'm like, yep, that's right.
RV, with the RV, that's what, it brought back memories. So
or your character, being like,
for years,
your character being like, we don't get no beer or food, like,
yeah, right,
been there, just like all these kind of little dumb things like that, but everything is so true to the lifestyle. And seeing her act that, and I was like, oh, okay, she knows what she's doing, like, this is good.
That's the thing too. You don't have to embellish it. It is that crazy. The truth is plenty entertainment. Entertaining. You don't have to add any drama.
Well, same thing with Sons of Anarchy. When I first started watching that, like, I grew up going to and now working almost the last 10 years of the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally.
Yep.
That is not super far off. I mean, like, the murders, like, that's not super like accurate, but everything else, the brotherhood, the way they handle, the way they run their clubs, the way they, I was like, oh, yep, nailed it.
Have you guys filmed season 2 of Paradise City yet?
No.
Oh no. I figured it's
so now we're gonna have to wait a really long time to find out what happens to Paulie.
No.
I'm glad that Mike Cliffhang is leaving people in suspense. That's a good thing.
Any plans to resume filming for that? Is it written?
We're gearing up for it. We have plenty of ideas, and we've been going back and forth on it, but we have to just, it's in God's hands, like we're just letting it go, and like the fans are going to speak for itself. And the minute we trigger, I think the minute we get a green light, we're going to go full steam ahead, because we know that the fans are going to be on demand. But we're going to have we had an amazing team, and I want to shout out to the team. That Paradise City was probably over 250 people that worked on the show.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to thank before anybody else, the glorifying producers or anybody else, because the people that worked hard on this, especially on the post-production side, our editing team, and Glenn and Joel and everybody that was a part of the long process of getting this show finished, delivered, executed. It's such a insane process to do it independently when you don't have a studio behind you and utilizing all of those assets to, help facilitate the delegation, trying to get everything done. But when you're doing it independently, it's like, whoa, we got to go here. And it's chaos, organizing, chaos. It's a lot of information. You got over 350 pages of material on camera. About 350 pages. I mean, it's insanity. It's insanity. And honestly, doing it independently, I think we crushed it. And I just want to thank everyone that was a part of the PAs, the grips, the post-production team, anyone, everybody a part of our DPs and our gaffers, everybody, like anybody, transpo, people that would, anybody that was a part of the process of getting this show to the principal photography end, because that's one animal. Getting that done is an animal. Then moving to the next phase, undertaking. Me and Ash, we were so burnt out.
Yeah.
From
Jose.
Yeah, Jose's awesome.
Jose Mangan. Yeah, we love Jose.
Love Jose.
Well, hey, I know how important the crew is, how vital the crew is. So my hat I always have to give them credit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we actually had Matt Pinfield on a couple weeks ago, and he talked about this series, and he plays himself in the series as well. With the, I can't think of what it's called, the Hit
Parade.
Yeah, Hit Parade. That's what it was called.
There we go.
Anyway, as a, he was an anchor for that, basically interviewing artists and all that. But he did tell us about the series a few weeks ago, and he was on and was like, "You're gonna have to check it out." And I was like, "Yeah, cool, I'll get to it." And then Dan's like, "No, you have to check this out. Like, we're bringing Lorenzo on the show." And I was like, "Oh, all right." So I was like, "All right, I had time to do it today, and I probably couldn't have stopped binging it if I wanted to."
Really?
So glad I had the whole day to do it. No, it was great. For those of you guys that,
amazing.
Yeah. For those of you guys that have not checked it out, I watched it on Amazon Prime. You can get it on Google Play, Fandango, iTunes, all of that as well. So we actually have more to talk to you about here.
Oh boy.
I noticed in a lot of your roles, you play a cop.
Huh?
Yeah, there we go. That's Reactor.
A man in uniform in many roles.
Nice mustache.
You like that mustache, Officer Bledsoe?
It is pretty sweet.
Officer Chief of Police.
There you
That's a horror movie from back like 2017. I think we shot that. I was Officer Dart Carson or something. Officer Deputy Carson.
What movie is this so that people can watch it?
This is the Reactor. This is the Bruce Willis movie. That one's Reactor, but the other one of this one where I'm clean shaved, that one is called the Haunting at Silver Falls 2. That's on that was on Netflix, I believe. It's a small indie horror, but it's awesome.
Do you think
I'm a horror buff, so I'll check that one out.
Is it your accent that kind of gets you the tough guy roles?
Well, I mean, in Reactor, I play Officer Bledsoe. I have a Southern.
Oh, so you had to change your accent. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got to see this movie. That's amazing.
Yeah.
How did you? Were you taking acting courses? Like, how did you get to this level of acting, going from music?
It's a great journey to talk about because Ash and I did What Now? That was our first comedy. He directed it, he wrote it, I wrote it with him. And we produced it together, and we starred in it together, and we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. Not one thing about the movie business did we know, but we knew we were hungry. We wanted it. And we had Busy Bone from Bone Thugs play our best friend. We had JR from Jim Ross from WWE. We had Diamond Out DDP. We had Jake the Snake. We had all the Bone Thugs in it. We had Ice-T. We had Coco, and then all of us. So we did that independently. Lorenzo, you were so awesome in the series. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you,
you were getting so much love in the comments right now.
Yeah. Definitely. It's a real position to be relating to because it's all from a real world.
I find it just so inspiring for other actors and people out there. The nature of the business nowadays, there's really no need for gatekeepers or studio deals. If you can create something independently,
the power
if you have the means, if you're the means to put it out there, you'll find an audience, you'll find a home, and you'll be able to have a career.
Yeah, but the acting was definitely, we didn't know what we were doing, and we released the movie, and then I fell in love with the business on my own and went to classes. I started auditioning. I booked Days of Our Lives. I booked Ballers. I was on Game of Thrones. I did these awesome, definitely 100%. Wow. And I did all these awesome roles that I worked very, very hard for. You know, a lot of smaller indie movies. I helped produce American Satan. I wasn't in really American Satan, but obviously that's why my character was, you know, able to position it to where it was with Paradise City. And American Satan is a movie. If you don't know American Satan is the kind of like the film that we did in the Relentless, you know, Andy Black's band and Mark Boone Jr. That world is continued into Paradise City, but then you know, Paradise City is its own universe. So I fell in love with the business on a level of you know, I was going to go and do and not take no for an answer. So I started taking classes. I've done workshops. I've done all the master classes for every acting, you know, every acting master class, and then every filmmaking and entrepreneur one. Yeah, awesome. And then I did all the master classes. I did workshops. I did, and now I'm with Anthony Gallardi. We're rehearsing for a movie in Jersey, and we're doing all the rehearsals. And all his students, like 4 of them, are the leads of Mayans. Speaking of sons, and
oh wow.
So he's a big believer in me. And shout out to Anthony Gallardi. Shout out to Sal Landy, who was my acting coach back in the beginning. And you know, I read with I read with Caroline Liam, who's Mahershala Ali's acting coach, and I've read with her a few times via Zoom. It was the first time I heard of Zoom ever. I worked with her on Zoom. So if I have a big audition, say for like Marvel or you know, anything that to me I'm like, I gotta get this, and it's like, you know, like how do you do the best? You rehearse with a pro. You know, you rehearse with a pro, and you have her break down the other character that you're talking to, you know, or you're talking about, so you could kind of reflect to, or you can kind of understand the character's name, what he's doing, why he's there, and why you are speaking to him the way you are, and that's what creates the atmosphere,
right?
You know, and then gives you, you know,
there's more science to it than people think.
Oh
yeah.
God.
So speaking of role models, I'm noticing a Sly Stallone poster behind you, and he's all over your social media. What is that about? Are you working on a project with him?
Hey, look at that guy. I mean, no, my one of my best friends, he's actually in Paradise City. He's his partner in the Sly Stallone shop, and they do a lot of memorabilia together. So we do hang out and go to his house, and I help them, you know, work on their business, their clothing line. I help, and I'm just honored to be there. And he shows me love, and he actually, I got to show you this. He gave me this.
Oh shit!
This is an unbelievable gift from Sylvester Stallone.
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness!
I mean, you know, and then obviously that one, you know,
I've heard he's a good dude.
And then obviously there's this.
Oh yeah!
Oh my goodness, I love it.
Look at that.
Then there's obviously this.
You got, dude, look, your place is so filled up with it. Oh man.
Oh wow!
The knife.
This is the Rambo knife.
The Rambo knife. Oh my god, dude. That's
incredible. So I am blessed to have people that in my life that show me a lot of love. You know, it's not a coincidence. I'm just a good person. Just be a good person.
Yes.
And
being a good person can get you far in this business. I think that's probably advice number 1, right?
Yeah, just be a good person. I mean, for anybody who's, you know, trying to get into the acting or, you know, any kind of game you want to play in, man, just be a good person, because at the end of the day, nobody wants to work with people that are just known to be toxic.
It's a small business and people talk, and everybody knows everybody. So
I got a great quote. It's from I call him Uncle Joe, but he's like my second father, because him and my father are best friends, and he raised me, and he's a very, very powerful man as far as intelligence. And he tells me, only you are in control of your character. You can control your character, but your reputation is controlled by others.
Wow, there you go. It's so
That's
true.
amazing.
Okay, my dad used to say to me, son, the toes you step on the way up are connected to the ass you'll be kissing on the way down. So that's what my dad said to me. And that always stuck with me. It's like, yeah, it's true. Like, everybody does this, so you don't want to be, you know, you want to keep on working. So good for you. You got the right attitude.
Oh my gosh.
You've got the fire. You've got the energy, and you're killing it, man. I'm just so happy for you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
So I want to talk about this movie that you have coming out called Kraka.
Yeah, well, that's a short film.
Oh wow.
Short film. Okay.
Yeah, it premiered at the Pan African Film Festival at Los Angeles, which is an Oscar qualified festival. Yeah, I play a white supremacist that's thrust back in time, and he gets he gets enslaved, and all white people are slaves, and the blacks rule. It's awesome.
That is so fascinating.
So where can we see this?
Well, I can send you a link personally because it was out and then it got taken down. It's such a complicated. This is the most complicated project, the best and most complicated thing I've ever done. Because as far as performance, everybody's just like that's not me. I'm Puerto Rican Italian from Jamaica, Queens. Like I play a freaking dude from like, Erie, Pennsylvania, that's mad at the world or something like that. I'm not saying Erie, right. Anywhere in like any kind of
not
redneck.
From Pennsylvania, it makes sense.
I know. Yeah, anytime we would we were playing a show and there was Nazis at the show and we had to fight them. They were in Pennsylvania. It was always weird.
Yeah, what is it? What is up with Pennsylvania? It's crazy. I love it, but it's crazy.
I love PA, man. Shout out.
Hear that, Eva? We know a guy. He can hook us up with the exclusive.
Yeah,
we know a guy.
Short film that we shot it as a pilot and we tried to sell it. Everybody jumped all over it.
Wow, that is interesting.
Yes, I could probably send it to you guys right through here, right? This chat thing.
Shit, how about that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let me do that now, and then you can watch it and enjoy it, and then you're gonna be like, whoa.
Yeah, I'm really interested.
Well, the storyline is brilliant. Knowing that it's getting your character gets thrown back in time and then is enslaved, and and it's quite a twist on history where black people rule and white people are enslaved. Like, what a brilliant storyline,
How was it playing a character like that? Was it hard to get in the mind of someone with that mentality?
It was very difficult.
Sure.
But at the same time, I did my due diligence, and I watched and learned, how they conducted themselves, and I've been around them. I had to, I have a great story that I actually, and I don't want to talk about like how being, I actually knocked one out for Slipknot for Paul.
No way.
At the Electric Factory, yeah, hands down, they all were there. Everyone from Slipknot was there. This guy was a Nazi skinhead, and he was talking shit to Paul, and he was calling him. He was dropping the words, and I just went,
wow, dude!
I was like, oh, Lorenzo! They brought me on the bus, and we were friends for already a while, but they were like, yo, you're rolling with us, and they were just fighting. They threw me in the back lounge, and we were all fun. And it was like
those guys. Corey's a good buddy of mine. I love Corey. That's great.
I love those guys. Like that's Sid's really on the show. Sid from Slipknot's on the show. Sid from Slipknot's.
He's a great actor too. Yeah.
He killed it. He's awesome. Yeah. He's awesome.
Such a frantic entertainer too. So fun to watch.
Yeah. I love. It was definitely great to see all my old friends a part of this. Randy's he's a brother. Like there's just it's just so good to see all these people. Actually, a part of something that may be something, huge. We don't know where Paradise City could go, and I just want. And if that's the case, then we would love for all of our friends that are, inspiring actors, or they everybody that's trying to get in the game, as an actor, giving them, maybe having them be in the show as well. Here, I'm giving you the link. Hold on, I'm just trying to find the link.
Thanks, man, yeah.
I sound distracted. I want you to see this because it's polarizing. It's amazing, and Dan should probably watch this too. But is this going to go directly to you guys?
Dan, can you play a clip?
Hey, Dan. So send it to you. It's going to go right to you guys. Check it out.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah. Hi, Dan. Dan, everybody. Dan Gattulo.
Is Kraka on your reel? Is that the first part on your reel?
Yeah. A lot of that is on my reel. Yeah.
Wait, I can play some of that right now so people can get a sneak peek. Hold on.
I don't need your help escaping.
Listen, you wouldn't get a mile through these woods.
I guess that's why you're here.
When I leave here tonight, I go home to a warm bed. You go back to that fucking crampy, stinking ass barn, sleeping on horse shit.
If I train your men, I walk free.
You help.
That's what I just said.
You walk out of here a free man.
You don't understand. Where I come from, this isn't the way it's supposed to be. Watch the doc too, the one where he dies in the end.
Will do, Paisan.
Ciao.
You good, good fellas?
That's bullshit.
We got ballers.
Everybody deserves to earn a few beans.
Hell yeah, they do, Paisan.
It's time these kids gain control.
Hey, Hall.
I just had to
Damn.
show ballers too. I had to show
No,
ballers.
seriously, you're acting and like that scene. Dan showed me that scene. Man, like what were you channeling when you were performing that on camera? Like how did you get into that mode like that? That was just amazing.
Thank you. I channeled. It was, first of all, it was like 20 degrees outside, so it was a lot more motivation to either kick ass or go home crying. You know, like I wanted to deliver the best I could and really pull from what these psychotic assholes think like. You know, and I pulled from a lot of Edward Norton in American History X and a lot of Mickey,
good one.
Yeah,
and a lot of Mickey from Natural Born Killers, especially in this car scene that you'll watch the movie and it's polarizing what I do, but it's very Mickey and Mallory because my girl in the movie is, you know, she's like my Mallory, and she's a young woman. She didn't know anything about the Natural Born Killers, so I was while in between takes I was having her watch Natural Born Killers on her phone to understand what I wanted her to channel, and we did it. It's polarizing, and you know, it wasn't easy. It was definitely a rough character to pull from.
I'm actually curious about something. I know a lot of fans of actors have a hard time sometimes separating the actor from the role that they play. You mentioned Game of Thrones earlier. I know that the kid who played King Joffrey gets a lot of people that just hate him, that just send him nasty comments and hate him all the time because he played the role so well.
He quit acting.
Yeah, which is like he played the most incredible role, one of the most hated characters in cinematic history. Have you received any type of messages like that from this role?
No, but you know what we did is, being that we released this on Juneteenth during Black Lives Matter, during that time, and we wanted to make a statement. And it was all of our powerful women that were behind the project that did this, all African-American women that was like, this is what we need people to see. And it went viral. It exploded. I'm getting chills from it. It went crazy.
Dude, that's
just
amazing.
for a short film. We had a deal on the table.
That's amazing, dude.
You know, Lorenzo, now you've kind of played every kind of part. You know, like even in Paradise City, there's a little bit of comedy in your role. You've kind of had the full spectrum. So what do you gravitate a little towards? Do you like more of the dramatic type roles, comedy? I mean, where do you see yourself falling? And do you want to go action?
I would love to be on the action aspect, but my favorite movies are either going to be like, I would love to do obviously a Goodfellas type movie one day, but that's an obvious choice, but really dramatic, Godfather style.
I don't see it at all. No, not at all.
I can't see you doing that now.
But the other one that I would love to do is war movies. That's my favorite, like Full Metal Jacket, Hamburger Hill, Saving Private Ryan. Man. I would love to do one, and that to me is action drama. And I would love
Band of Brothers.
Band of Brothers. What a great show! Like great miniseries. I would love to do anything of that in that vein, but I do love the comedy stuff. So I think I have a range for all kinds of aspects of the I guess different genres of movies. But I do want to be an action guy, but with I speak Spanish, I speak Italian, and I just shot a pilot. We just finished. I'm playing Tom Sizemore's son in this pilot. I speak traditional Sicilian. The director's Sicilian, and he's telling me how to do the mannerisms in a Sicilian way, how to talk those Sicilian words, because that's what De Niro won the Oscar for. Yeah. Because Sicilian was perfect, and his delivery was obviously incredible. But that's why he won, in my opinion, because he wasn't speaking English. So I really want to try to hone in on a lot of the De Niro journey and Stallone journey. My favorite actors are, obviously for females is Viola Davis. Working with her would be I doubt I could because I mean, look, who am I to work with her? But
Don't
say
that.
Well, I'm just humble. You know what I mean? She's just so incredible. It's hard to, it's hard to just put myself in that realm. But I would love to work with her. She's one of the greats in my opinion. And
I feel like considering what I've seen you do and considering your personality, I think that you have the ability to do all kinds of ranges. I think similar to The Rock, he does action movies, he does comedy movies, he does dramatic roles. I think that you have the same path ahead of you too.
The same qualities. Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So before we let you go, since you're such a Rocky buff, it's time for a little segment we like to call
I have to see this.
Do I
Stop,
play
Drop,
the song?
Shenanigans.
I have to play the song. Stop, drop, shenanigans. Stop, drop, shenanigans. You'll never get me gold. Best song I've ever written.
I'm so proud of that. It's so adorable.
Oh, it's so cute.
We always play a little game with our guests. Sometimes we ask them if they want to play. You didn't get that luxury tonight. You're playing. So, we are going to be quizzing you on Rocky trivia.
Oh boy.
Okay.
He's I got this.
No, I mean, listen, I'm not perfect, so I'm
Well, we're about to find out here.
Okay.
Okay. Who played Thunder Lips in Rocky 3?
Thunder Lips. The character's not ringing a bell for me. Who's Thunder Lips?
Hulk Hogan.
Oh, well, of course. I mean, I just seen the picture with him standing on an apple box the other day. I haven't seen Rocky 3 in a very, very long time. I just saw Hulk Hogan, just to be honest.
Really? How about that?
Yeah.
All right.
That is so funny. This is all tying together. Rocky, wrestling, acting. It's all tying together here.
Well, now it's out the internet that you didn't know his role.
Listen, you guys have to give him a mulligan on that one because I really believe that he would have gotten that one. So he had a brain fart there. So give him a
all right. Well, all right. You get one mulligan.
All right. We'll give you that. We'll give you
mulligans. I love it.
Mulligan.
All right. In Rocky Balboa, Mason Dixon is played by which real life boxer?
Antonio Tarver, right?
That is correct.
Oh, yes! Right.
All right. What was the name? What's that?
One of the best lines that he has is life only hits you as hard as you can. It's about getting up and keep moving forward and moving forward. It's the best monologue ever.
Oh, Eva, my mom says, Eva, be nice to Lorenzo.
When was I not nice? I've been told I've got that East Coast sass over here in the Midwest.
Make him mad. He looks like he could kick her ass.
Okay. All right. What was the name of the Russian boxer faced by Rocky Balboa in Rocky 4?
Ivan Drago.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you should have pulled up the picture with me and Ivan Drago. It's on my Instagram.
Dan.
Pull it up. It's only a few feet down.
It's only a few feet down. I love it.
I'll try to find it.
Okay, we're gonna keep going. He's gonna try to find that.
Bye, Dan.
Okay, which character who died in Rocky 3 makes an appearance in Rocky 5?
Oh God, you're stumping me on that one because Rocky 3 is not the one that I know much about. It's not. Obviously, I haven't seen it since I was a kid. But hold on. Dies in Rocky 3.
And appears in Rocky 5.
Oh, here got the Jeopardy theme.
Well, I mean, well, it ain't Apollo Creed, so who was it?
It rhymes with sticky.
Oh, Mickey was in Apollo. It was in 5.
He makes an appearance.
Really? Oh, but it was a flashback because he's already dead. Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm not too well versed with Rocky 3 either. I feel like after Rocky 2,
it's not. It's the one that I know the least. I'm sorry. It's just the one.
It's almost as good as the guy with the Russian who's like, "You will lose." Wasn't that 4? Rocky 4.
Okay, we've got three more. We got 3 more questions here.
All right, we'll skip that one.
Rocky 5. In Rocky 5, Adrian takes on her old job at what kind of an establishment?
Bird store.
Oh,
close. Pet store.
Pet store. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I'll give you that one.
We'll give it to you anyway. How about that?
Maybe the birds. I mean, I remember the birds the most out of all the pet stores. I mean, inside the pet store.
That's fair. We'll take it. That's a win.
Close enough. Close enough.
Okay. In the movie Rocky, what is the name of Rocky's dog?
Oh, what's his real dog's name? I'm stumped. I'm not gonna get it, and I'm not gonna look it up. I'm not gonna.
No, you can't look it up. That's cheating.
Google it.
I'm not gonna look it up.
The dog's name was Buttkiss.
Oh, Buttkiss.
Yeah, I'm bad with trivia on certain things.
That's okay. Okay. Last question here. In Rocky Balboa, Rocky owns what kind of establishment? And yeah, what kind of establishment?
Is it the restaurant?
Yep. Now there's a two. This is a twofer. This is the second part of this question. What was the name of that restaurant?
I forget about Balboa Restaurant. I don't know.
Adrian's.
Oh yeah,
Adrian's. Oh,
Adrian's a great name for an Italian restaurant.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But it's pronounced Adrian's.
I didn't do too bad.
You didn't do too bad. No, that's actually really good.
Pretty good. Let's give him that. There we go.
Because you never said you were a Rocky buff. You just like Sly Stallone.
Yeah,
and he's been in a million movies.
Yeah.
Do you think you do better at Rambo trivia, maybe, or?
Listen, I mean, I just watched Rambo. I watched First Blood and Rambo 3 the other day. Yeah. And my friends, I was just hanging out with him yesterday. Schoolboy from Rambo 4. There's the picture.
Oh, wow. Oh, hell yeah! Look at that, man.
We could play brothers.
Amazing. Wow, look at that.
It's a great picture.
You guys should be in a movie together, I think. Yeah. It's called Two Brothers.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elizabeth Hale.
Yes, that's my mom. Yeah, she's like
mom.
a huge fan now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. She likes to, she's sweet. I love having her on here. Her comments crack me up.
She's also a big Stop, Drop, and Talk fan. So
she is.
It's part of her content.
She watches every week. We love her.
A great name too. Definitely.
Yeah, thank you.
So for those, your newest projects, Paradise City, the current one, the one that just came out most recently, like I said, Fandango, Google Play, iTunes. I watched it on Prime Video. Run. You're gonna binge the whole thing. It's so incredible.
Yes.
I'm so excited to check out that link you shared with me too for Kraka. I will be watching that and reporting back to our followers here.
We're really excited for season 2.
Yes.
When it comes out, hopefully.
Yes, let's all manifest. Let's all manifest this. Look at this awesome Star Wars thing behind me.
Oh shit! Look at that.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Wow. You got a lot of
my friend Rob Pryor, he drew that as me as a Sith, but he also drew the Force Awakens poster. Hands down. Yeah, he's a beast. Shout out to Rob Pryor.
That's incredible.
Cool. I mean, it looks like you have a nice place out there. Where are you at in LA? Like, what part of LA?
I got a little nice 1-bedroom here.
Not bad, man. Not bad.
Yeah, I'm moving though at the end of the month to Sunset, but
there you go.
I like to. I'm trying to get a place in Palm Springs first. I really love to get out of here and decompress. I'm going there on Friday morning.
It's nice out there. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to South Dakota though. I want to go back to Mount Rushmore.
There you go.
I'll go visit Ava.
If you come to South Dakota, I will take you around, show you all the fun stuff, not just the tourist stuff, but what we like to do here. And it does not involve cow tipping or riding in helicopters.
No, we played there. We played South Dakota. Eva, we played there with Suicide Silence, I think. It was us and Suicide Silence. Yeah, we played there a long time ago. I bet it was Ash booked the tour. Ash put us in.
Here's the thing about us here in South Dakota. We're really bored. We're bored. So anytime a tour comes through, oh my God, we're there. Everybody buys tickets. We are running.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of kids. I remember that.
We live for like I talked about earlier, the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. We live for that because it's a 10-day festival essentially at so many different locations that, you've got Iron Horse Saloon, you've got the Buffalo Chip, you've got Full Throttle, you've got, all those different venues that are bringing in all these huge acts. And so people have a hard time. Like everybody spreads out the schedule and they plot their paths of where they're going to go and who they're going to see.
Wow.
Yes.
Really pull it out.
It's super fun. I will say the venue that I work at, Iron Horse Saloon, all concerts are free.
Oh shit! There we go. I'm curious.
I'm gonna put my laptop on charge because I don't want the phone to die and then.
Okay.
Yeah, my laptop's dying. It's like I didn't even realize it just said you got 5% left.
There you go. Smart. That's right. Well, if Dan's computer dies, we're all screwed. So luckily he keeps his.
He's the gatekeeper.
He's the puppet master. He's controlling all of us.
Hey,
there he
shout out to Dan. Shout out to Dan. Hey, the guy was nominated for an Oscar. Let's give him a round of applause.
Don't do that. He'll never shut up.
And look where it got me. I'm producing Stop Drop It.
That's right. The best show on the internet.
This is proof that great things can happen to those who really work hard. You know, my Emmys, Emmy nominations, it all leads to this. So it's just amazing.
You reached the end of the rainbow, essentially.
What an asshole.
But
hey, you know what? At least Dan,
that was a compliment.
Dan, at least you know what you could do. You could bring those nominations and print them out when you go to a pitch meeting. Say, here you go. Before I introduce myself, this is what the fuck my work has accomplished. Before you can say, hey, judge me all you want.
But first of all,
before you know it, you too can be producing for Stop, Drop, and Talk.
Yes, everybody gets a chance.
I told a friend of mine, she was on Days of Our Lives and she won an Emmy. And it's my friend Casey's girlfriend, and she's and she won an Emmy. But then after Days of Our Lives, it gets hard for a lot of actors to go and audition. I said,
you were on Days of Our Lives?
You were on 4 episodes.
Wait, so how do you go from sworn enemy to Days of Our Lives? I want to know that.
I mean, listen, I guess we all got to pivot to something,
Hey man, a paycheck is a paycheck in this industry.
That's right.
And I love Days of Our Lives at the end of the day because my ex-wife was a big fan, so she got me into it when we were kids, and then like 97, 98, I started watching it. But the girl, I told her when she won that Emmy and she was auditioning, I said, you need to go to the casting director, and with that Emmy, and you put it on the fucking table. It says, hi, I'm blah, 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 and I'm reading for whoever. Put that fucking Emmy right on the fucking table. I says, I don't know why. At least it's something different. They will never forget you. Even you bring your Emmy to the audition, like, it's not asshole. This is what I got, and that's it. Here you go.
Go to the table.
Yeah, don't even print it out. Don't even print it out. Just take the actual trophy and slam it down on the table.
Yeah.
It was just a joke, but actually, if she didn't do it, I'm gonna put it in a comedy somewhere.
If Dan had to do that though, with all of like the awards that he's won, the Emmys and everything else, he would have to have like a push cart with shelves.
Oh, I'm just gonna leave this right here.
They don't get me anywhere. They're all stacked up in my living room right now. So but you're better off. Like, you know what, Lorenzo, the best advice you can give someone is just be a nice person.
No, absolutely. Oh,
yeah, because Hollywood are such. Lorenzo is part of a really great group. I mean, he has this club of guys that are just. They welcome him. When I first met Lorenzo, it was really funny. And now I kind of know the backstory on why he was so welcoming, because I was at a crossroads on what to do with Landmarks. Because just like Paradise City, we self-financed it and we tried to do it on our own, and we didn't know what to do. And I wanted to talk to his friend Rob Weiss, who's a producer from Entourage and I guess a co-creator on Ballers, but he was also a producer of Ballers and director. And Lorenzo picked me up and without any questions asked, brought me to a cigar club to sit down and meet with Rob. And he was so nice about it. I'm like, why the fuck is this guy being so nice to me and just bringing me right to Rob and really, rooting for me? Because he was, now I realize it, you were going through the exact same fucking thing at the same time at Paradise City.
Yeah.
You guys, we're all in this together. I mean, doing projects on your own in Hollywood, you would think would be easier if you could walk into a network saying, look at my show, it's all done. It's the exact opposite. They don't like it when people buck the system. They want to do things their way. They want to have it makes it more difficult. It's unfucking believable. You would think that walking in, like, here you go, it's a turnkey series, go ahead and run it. Nope.
Right.
Anything you do to disrupt the system in TV, the old guard, the old rich white guys in the back offices at CBS and everything, they honestly don't want you to do that. And so they're scared of it. And, and look what happened with Paradise City. These guys went out. The demand was there. It killed it. They shut people up like there's no tomorrow. It's really interesting. I haven't touched base with Ash in a couple weeks. I was messaging him. I know he's busy He's actually shooting a show right now with your sister,
Yeah, they just
RJ. But
oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I wanted to talk to them because you share notes on what you guys just went through with with Amazon and stuff, because it's a great way to shut people up. I mean, the show speaks for itself. You guys did a killer job. Everybody was great in it, and that was a hell of a feat, Lorenzo, to pull it off on your own, man.
Absolutely.
You guys, I know what you guys went through to get that made.
Yeah, big fan of that show. It's incredible.
Yeah. Thank you. What's up with? I appreciate it, guys. The kind words really warms my heart, because it was. I'm so glad it's out. It was such a fucking grind to get to where we are. And what's up with Landmarks? I mean, I remember you guys.
Maybe one day when a pandemic is. We just did the Kiss New Year's Eve show, but
was John Greenberg with you guys on that?
Yeah. John works for me.
Yeah,
and
John,
so that was my show, and that was a Landmark show. We did a big one-off event, and we have 10 shows under contract and ready to go, but we haven't been able to shoot because of the pandemic. And we're hoping that by end of the year we'll be back in production again. But who fucking knows, man? It's insane, and and RJ, we were talking about it today. He's finally going to start doing shows again this summer. So hopefully this light at the end of the tunnel.
Like you said earlier, it's in God's hands now. We'll see how it happens.
I know a girl that just did a whole 6-week tour inside. I think probably smaller venues, 200 capacity, 500 capacity rooms, all over the country. She was on the road for 6 weeks. I don't know.
To strip it down and do more acoustic, because then those venues you can't afford to pay the crew and the semis and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely small.
But the option is there. You know what I mean? To keep doing music and.
We're seeing hope. There's hope.
Are you gonna, Lorenzo? Have you any plans? Do you have any plans to maybe resume your music career, or do you do any music stuff on the side? I mean, you looked awful comfortable playing the guitar.
The success of the show. Are you going to return to music?
Well, I mean, my hopes is when I get to where I'm going, and I'm working on that right now, and we know where it is, and when I get to the level of where I'm going, where I'm going. I don't just want to say this guy or that guy. When Lorenzo is where the hell he's got to go, because I have an idea and I have a vision. You know what I'm saying? I would love to be with all my boys, a tour with, if there was a tour with say Hatebreed and Madball, you know what I mean? And Lamb of God. I would love to be on the tour and play 3 songs with each of the bands, you know what I mean?
We'll take you out.
And something like that. Yeah. Just to beat the guitar, and if I amplified it, made it cooler at the same time, I'm manifesting that. I still have the chops, I mean, I played guitar since I was 10, 11 years old. And
one of Lamb of God's TMs is one of my dear friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anytime, though.
Boss,
no,
right?
Timmy Z.
Oh, Timmy. So Boss left. Oh, wow. Yeah, no.
Well, Timmy, he's out with them some of the time. I don't know that he's full. I know he was out with them for a couple of years, but
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've been.
And see, here's what people don't realize is the entertainment industry is tiny.
Small.
I'm in the middle of South Dakota, and I know a lot of the people that you guys know working this industry from here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's cool to see.
It's literally all and you have to kiss the brass ring. It unfortunately, especially with we're starting to see it a little bit in the music industry, which was a shame, because up until the early 2000s, you had to have a hit song and you had to have real talent to get a record deal. There was luck. There were bands that could sell out a club on the Sunset Strip and they'd get a deal, but it really came down to having a full package. Nowadays, everything went to it's all singles driven again. So you're seeing talentless people get record deals, and it happens a lot. But in the TV and film side of it, it really is who you know. There's no look. It says it all that when someone finally gets a show on TV, magically that person is like an executive producer on 5 or 10 other shows. They reward people that they do well with, and sometimes that reward isn't even based on merit. You could have a really shitty show. If you have a hit show on a TV network, you could walk into the network president's office and say, "Listen, I have a show about picking up dog shit in parks." It's an episode, and they'll be 10 episodes because you have a hit show over there. And unfortunately, it's that whole game on who you know. And what Lorenzo and Ash did and what we've done with Landmarks, And by the way, Landmarks was the #1 show on PBS. We broke records. I mean, we were bringing in big numbers. And so, every time people do that, that scares this system, because this system is kind of like, I had sponsors attached willing to do ad buys. You would think that fucking networks would love that. Hey, man, I got this credit card company. They're going to drop $1 million an episode. They don't even want you messing with their ad rates, something that they worked really hard to do to try to position. So the system is really weird. And the good news is the streamers have kind of bucked it a little bit. But the streamers, they're just out there writing checks that they don't even need to write. Like, either they write these psychotic checks for like $30 or $40 million that make no sense because it was their idea. The problem is when someone like Ash and Lorenzo do a show, if it's not their idea, doesn't matter how good it is.
Yeah.
It's really fucking weird, man. And it's like, you have to play the political game. Like, the difference, like, well, actually, Rob's kind of a little bit of a rebel, but he plays by the rules. He stays inside the lines, and that's why he has an amazing relationship, obviously, at HBO. I'm too much of a, I go outside the lines too much to play that game, and so does Ash. I mean, Ash has really been amazing on what he's doing, and I want you guys to keep doing it, because if you build a following, it doesn't fucking matter. You guys put the point with Paradise City, and I think no matter what Amazon says, that thing's going to be back for a second season. Hats off to you guys, and it's going to be interesting to see what you do with it now that Cameron's gone. And where would you like to leave us on this? Because I know Eva's wondering this as well. Where would you like to see your character go? Clearly, you were leaning towards joining Cameron. So now that Cameron's not around, where would you like to see your character go now? If you guys do get a second season.
Well, I think that the character would still lean towards Simon. Like that will still be, a discussion of how we recast and continue that journey, because he's a major engine of the show. And that was a big Rob Weiss note. He was like, he gave us a valuable notes on the pilot in the beginning of the journey of getting this off the ground. And which was an incredible note. Incredible.
Did you get a lot of advice from Rob? Just so you guys know, once again, Rob is his friend, is a good friend of Lorenzo's, who was a producer and director on Entourage
and
Ballers.
Yeah, and
he's been a teensy bit successful.
He's written over 50 episodes of HBO television, directed probably 7 to 8 episodes of HBO television, executive produced all of them. And he's a major part of all the great ideas that are, some of the funniest stuff and the most iconic stuff. He's a very talented man, very dear friend. He definitely gave us, he gives me advice all day, every day when we connect, and he sees where I'm going, and he definitely loves me like a little brother. So he's always looking out for me. But breaking the system, like you said, is definitely what Hollywood doesn't want. And we learned that the hard way. And obviously you learned that with Landmarks. But I think breaking the system is also putting us on the map.
Yeah.
And when we have something else that's within the system, they're going to pay attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you don't have the financing to go do it. But, with Paradise City, the success of the show might be so cool, and they could be like, okay, we want to give you $20 million to go make the next season. And we're going to hire this showrunner because he did X, Y, and Z. We trust him, and our line produces everything that we want, and take it or leave it. But you guys can go do what you want. You know what I mean? But take it or leave it. Everyone kind of goes for the ride. We're going to have to make the decision. That's going to be, hopefully we get that, because that to me would be a home run. You know what I mean?
I had the exact same thing happen to me right around the time when I met with you. We had a very big company, a studio, try to get involved in Landmarks, and they were trying to bring me the showrunner from the Snooki show. And I swear to God, I sat there and I was like, we made beautiful television. Like, why the hell do you think I don't need anybody to babysit my show. It's my show. And needless to say, I told them to go fuck themselves, and we didn't do it. And nothing against that, but that's a reality show. We're not a reality show. We're a docuseries, and it was just a different.
You guys made was beautiful. I mean,
it's I get that. It's like it's playing the game, kissing the brass ring. They want people, and understandably, they want people that they're familiar with. But you guys are on a streak now. You know, and I don't know. I can speak on my behalf. Eva could speak on hers, but I don't want the show to change. Like I want it to continue going down the path it did. Yeah. I don't want an outside influence coming in and trying to spin this thing, you know, and be like, we should move it in, and then everybody goes. It's like a Brady vacation. Everybody goes to Hawaii, and you know, and like go cheese it out, and it's like
like a storyline that would make sense, you know, since Cameron's gone, is that he was so close with his mom and she was working so hard to work by his side, is that it would kind of make sense if she took over kind of his role in the series as far as, you know, the business and all that goes. Like I'm like my wheels are just turning, and then there's going to be something weird with Oliver Ostergaard and his mom. Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
It could happen.
I hope to God you guys get that second season, and you know, Lorenzo. But I know you have such great shit going on. I'm so happy for you, man. You've been killing it. The past couple of years watching this. I mean, I don't know if you even noticed this. You just tapped into the IMDb top 10,000.
Yeah,
and that's a really big fucking deal. The highest I've ever been is I think 60,000. So. I mean, we're talking about there's 17 million people in that database. So you're in the upper 1 percentile of Hollywood now. So you got to be really proud of yourself, man. You've done a long way. So
I see that. And it's crazy that you mentioned that now that I remember, because Cracker, when that came out, I hit like 3,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Cracker was crazy on fire.
That's amazing.
That was, and I forgot to mention that. About what happened. You remember you mentioned backlash. We got backlash, not at me, at the director writer from the white supremacists.
Oh,
how dare you make a slave about white people? How you making white people slaves? All these phone calls, and we were like, yo, they really exist. They really exist.
Oh, they're out there. They're out there.
Hey, Lorenzo.
Their ugly face. Oh
Lorenzo, you're in the 9,000s right now. Rob is 30,852. So you have some calm up rubbing his face right now.
But dude,
with all his accolades, he's 30,000. So there you go, brother.
Those are the people you don't want fans of your show, though. Those people.
No.
Yeah, right.
It just showed us and indicated that we struck a nerve by showing you what if it was reversed.
Yeah.
Instead of you being so ignorant and not feeling any kind of redemption or feeling bad for what happened to Black people, you just you think it's nothing. Oh, it was the past. It was the past. Well, everyone has to hear it passed down from their ancestors, so they feel it from their family. So it's not the past. They feel it still. Their grandmother told their mother passes it on to them. It's still within their lives, you know,
It's something we don't experience firsthand, so it's something we don't think about or really know about. So I think that's what's so helpful about that show and that short film, is that it really kind of put it in perspective and maybe educated some white people that don't really understand too much the experience of that Black people go through. So
we're
positioning
that was made as a concept. That short, but you're gonna be like, yo, this looks like an actual episode.
Yeah. Pilot.
So the pilot. We made it as a pilot, but then we turned it into a short, and that's when we started getting to know all these film festivals. But we had an offer from a real place too, and you know, I don't want to get heartburn again and high blood pressure. But that's what happened, and Dan could attest to this business, and it does give you the worst highs and lows. But the great part of Cracker is that it still ain't going anywhere. We can go and make a series, and we're still trying to figure out how to go. We can go do it for $3 million and go down in Georgia. We got all the plantations, everything. I have all the crews out there, all my friends. Like, we can go and shoot this an 8-episode series for $400,000-500,000 an episode, because we did that for $60,000, and it looks like we spent $1 million. We could go do that for a whole season and do the same thing, launch it on, and it will go viral. It will go viral.
Dude, I hope that happens. I would love to see that become a series. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to check out the link. Again, Paradise City was incredible.
Thank you.
Can't wait to check out your other work now that you're in the 9,000s again on IMDb. Congratulations.
Thanks for noticing.
How does it feel to be a 1%er?
I don't even know what that is. I mean, I honestly, to be quite honest with you guys, because I feel like I know you guys forever because of just the common world we come from. I'm overwhelmed of just like joy. Like I don't know, I didn't know that it's starting to happen, and all the hard work that I put in, I see. You know, like I got a lot of press happening. You know, I have my PRs. You know, Jasmine Espada. She's got Isai Morales on Mission Impossible 7 and 8. You know what I mean? Like she's doing that level stuff, and she's like, you know, like we're honing in on. I'm Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? I'm Italian and Puerto Rican, but like yo soy un boricua. I was raised Puerto Rican. You know, like that's like I've always said, how do I get I need people to know that my mother is Puerto Rican. Like I'm Puerto Rican descent. You know what I mean? Like people look at me and my name and they automatically judge he's a white boy Italian. But you know, even though Italians we're Latin too. You know what I mean? Like
that's true.
Like why, you know, so I had to really like let people know. Like Ricky Martin is kind of like the same kind of skin tone. He doesn't really look like a white like a Puerto Rican guy, but he was in Menudo and he's from Puerto Rico. He speaks more Spanish than I do. He's already known to be Puerto Rican, but it's like, you know what? I need to let people know what time it is. And that's what we're doing. And it's crazy because I'm like all my interviews on different Spanish and English, but I'm doing like, you know, 3 in Puerto Rico tomorrow. And to talk to the people that, you know, the Puerto Ricans, we stick together. There's 3.5 million on that island. You know how small that island is?
Yeah.
You know, it's a small island.
My parents lived there for a little bit. It's tiny, but you know, good for you for representing. You know, you have to be out there in Hollywood holding the torch. So so keep it up. That's great. Also, we got a comment from someone saying they hope that Cracker becomes a series so they can so you guys can piss off those people even more. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Awesome. You guys can watch the trailer. We got blocked. The trailer got blocked and it turned censored. After 2 days, we had like 300,000 views, no marketing, no money, no nothing. It got to 1.2 million, and then they blocked it. Then everybody just started. I leaked all the assets, and then it just went viral. And there's trailers with 70,000, 150,000, so it's everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And then the comments on that one YouTube, the official trailer, 1.2 million views. It got up to like 19,000 comments.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And then people started deleting them because there was probably just wars.
You were rocking the boat with that trailer.
16,000. I'll send you the trailer right now.
The people who have battles in comment sections are probably the lowest form of life, honestly.
We call those keyboard warriors.
Yeah, keyboard warriors.
And none of the shit they say via keyboard they would ever say to your face.
You know what? But
Exactly.
what a great message.
So, well, thank you, Lorenzo, so much again for joining us. It was such a pleasure. I'm going to check out that link you sent. A lot of our viewers have been commenting how much they've been learning about the entertainment industry just on this episode alone.
Thank you, Rachel Penny for the comment.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Rachel. And so these people will all start going and like checking out the independent stuff and everything, you know, which is important. I think it's good to disrupt the system, as Dan said.
Yes.
It is.
And you're coming from the rock world. We're kind of the underdogs of the music business, and now you're having so much success in Hollywood, and it's just great to see one of our kind doing so well. And also, thank you for being our season finale guest on season 3.
Hey, thank you.
You're closing out the season with us, and I couldn't think of a better person to finish up the spring season with. So thank you so much for taking the time to just hang out with us. This was so much fun.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate
Anytime.
all you guys, and I hope to see you guys again in person. And Dan, I know we'll definitely bump into each other soon. And we'll meet in Mount Rushmore. I mean, look, my lips.
The Stonehenge of America.
Yes.
The Stonehenge of America is Carhenge in Nebraska, in Kearney, Nebraska.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. Oh my God.
Well, I'll meet at Mount Rushmore. We'll have a party. We'll do all those things. But
Dude,
until
come out
then,
to a hailstorm show. That's
at Mount Rushmore.
Show. Let's get you on a hailstorm tour. That would be pretty amazing. Let's make that happen.
Yeah.
Tour with us, playing guitar.
Oh yeah, I would love to play one song.
You're in.
Also, Dan, if you could post his social so people could go give him a follow on Instagram. I believe it's Lorenzo Antonucci Jr. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and Twitter is at real Antonucci.
All right. Cool.
I don't Twitter.
Lots of pictures of Sylvester Stallone and Dolph Lundgren are on there, so you guys should go over right away.
And Carl Weathers, who directed one of the best Mandalorian episodes. I got to be honest, he made that so epic Star Wars. I was blown away.
You're a big Star Wars fan too?
Oh God.
Oh yeah, same here, man. That's
I told Carl what an incredible job, and he was really like, "Yeah, man, thank you, bro." You know, like I met him with Nikki as well, and what a wonderful man.
That's awesome, man. Love the
man. Yeah.
I hope you get on an episode of that. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, well, Mark Boone Jr. was on an episode. I know that.
Oh shit, really?
He played the junkyard owner with Bill Barr. Bill Barr.
That's right. Bill Burr. That's right.
Bill Burr, yeah. He was awesome in it.
Let's get you on that show.
I'm manifesting. I showed you what my friend Rob drew, and he's actually he did the Force Awakens poster. So
I also love your weight stack poster behind you. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It says 10% doubts, 20% risk, 30% failure, 40% criticism, 50% sacrifices, 60% persistence, 70% hard work, 80% late nights, 90% exhausting, 100% success.
Yeah, great advice and a great way to end the show. Thank you
absolutely.
So much, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate
it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Can't wait to have you on again, man. Lorenzo.
Have a good night.
Lorenzo Antonucci, everybody.
Let me know what you think of Cracker.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. We'll let you up, man. Great to hang with you, man.
See you later.
Oh man, Lorenzo,
isn't he great? I told you he's nice, right?
So great.
So great, man. Great guest. I couldn't think of a better way to end the season.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And it was, it was really informative on the industry, for people that have no idea what goes into it and the politics and all that bullshit. It was good to get some insight from him and from you, Dan.
That's really frustrating. But what they did, I mean, when you watch Paradise City, to really realize that they did that independently is nothing short of miraculous. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. And that's really what happens. Like, that is not fabricated at all. That is the industry.
And the amount of shit TV out there, they had a hard time getting that thing placed because people were scared to take it because they didn't want to necessarily support people doing TV series rogue, which is completely crazy.
Even with that lineup, like, it's so surprising that nobody wanted to take it. That is wild. That cast
the bands I have on Landmarks. I mean, people were scared that, they were, we were bucking the system, and, you have to adhere by the way it works. And, it's just it's the way it works. But
the harsh reality is it's rare for that to happen, for that to be successful. A lot of stars were aligned for that to happen.
Absolutely.
Well, but I will bid farewell to you guys now because I'll get off and let you guys finish. But it's been a wonderful third season. I am so looking forward to the special shows we have this summer, which everybody will be happy to know will be much different. Different backdrops. That's our big hit. But it'll be very cool to do things with a very summer tone, should I say. Very excited.
Well,
I cannot wait.
Just like the end of every season, I have to thank you, Dan, for having me a part of this show. It's just such an incredible experience, and it only keeps getting better. So
it's been
great
a blast.
job to both of you and to B-Rock out there. We can't wait till the triumphant return of B-Rock. He will be back, don't you worry. And this has been so good once again.
All right, guys, I'll let you guys wrap up and see you later.
All right, Dan Catullo, everybody. Eva Steele, you're amazing.
And RJ Hale.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wait, this way.
Oh, wait, yeah, that's right. It's backwards.
I feel like Hannah White.
Hi. Yeah, right. It's the Brady Bunch. What a great scene. Eva, thank you so much for everything that you bring to the table with this show. I know I've been busy in the studio with Hailstorm. I've been doing a lot of writing and a lot of stuff and everything going on. So thank you so much for being such a great partner and doing this show. Honestly, it's such a great experience. I love this. I love getting to meet all these people and talk to all these people. And Dan has been amazing. B-Rock's amazing. So I'm so glad that we're still going. And I
think everybody here brings a little bit of something to the table.
And
so
of course,
it's kind of fun.
Everybody leaving your comments and everybody being so supportive and watching the show, for giving us likes and follows. You guys are the blood that keeps this thing going. So thank you so much for all of your support out there too.
Yes, thank you. It's time for that high note.
All right, I guess we'll wrap it up. This is it, the last high note of the season. We're going to wrap up. You know how we do it. On a high note. And for the last high note of the season, and yes, we will be back in the summer. I can't wait for that. But just a nice little message to leave you on, considering we're at the end of this pandemic. Well, it's looking like the end of the pandemic is near. And I think there's a lot of things that are important to also bear in mind as we continue navigating back into normal life. And so this high note is called, do we really just want to recycle the 2019 life? Oh no, the title's a question. How about that, right? Where's my... So there's been good news coming at us left and right about how many people are finally getting vaccinated, which is great news. There's talks of mid-June returning businesses to full capacity, life back to pretty much full normality, and the light at the end of the tunnel is getting bigger and bigger by the day. That's so great to hear. But what do we do when we get back to so-called normal again? Are we going to forget all about it and just pick up where we left off in March of last year? Or should we carry some things we've learned over the pandemic with us moving forward? Here's some interesting stats regarding this past year, according to new data on daily fossil fuel emissions. After rising steadily for decades, global carbon dioxide emissions fell by 6.4% in 2020 as the pandemic squelched our social activities worldwide, which makes me think, could we keep our social activities but match the reduction of pollution? I'm sure we have the means. Why are we holding on to things that just keep fucking up the planet? It just makes sense to me. If we want to prevent a pandemic from this happening again, if we want to be healthy, then it just seems like the odds are more in our favor if we have a healthy planet. Some good habits we learned over the pandemic were being more conscious about washing our hands, giving people space in public, the L bump, businesses working efficiently with employees working from home. And, you know, I wouldn't even mind adopting the Japanese custom of covering your fucking disease holes when you're sick. You know, let's meet in the middle, folks. When this COVID shit is finally over, we don't have to wear masks all the time, but still, let's just throw one on when we feel sick to prevent other people from getting sick. They've been doing that in Asian countries for generations. How dare any of us in this country have any ounce of consideration for each other? Last I checked, the slogan for America seemed to go a little something like this. Sucks to be you. One thing we absolutely need to consider is our symbiotic relationship not only with each other, but with our damn planet. And with all that we have and all that we can do, what's the one reason we stick to fossil fuels, ravaging rainforests, dumping garbage in the ocean, burying it in the earth, pumping emissions into the air, abusive, destructive, and unhealthy factory farming? Not to mention the permanent shards of shit whizzing around in orbit. Money. Why don't we shove some of that money into the planet before the planet shoves its Earth-like boot up our collective human ass? It's like George Carlin used to say, the planet isn't going anywhere. We are. If anything, this unprecedented pandemic gave us a glimpse of hope for what we can expect if we put some effort into reducing emissions, decreasing environmental pollutants, and investing in cleaner, renewable, and sustainable energy. But we'll never get there if we depend too much on money from dirty, greedy corporations that have somehow become the real owners of this country and therefore the world. I'm sure there's nothing is better for the well-being of the economy than rat fucking the planet, but it doesn't do very well for our human well-being, does it? Natural disasters increase, health pandemics spread so much easier, and not just that, our food gets affected, our water becomes unsafe, our collective health declines. Hell, we might even get to a point where we can't even swim in the ocean anymore. But hey, enjoy all that money. You could put it towards curing whatever disease you get from the toxic waste you've been ingesting. But for me personally, I prefer my shrimp scampi without the side of microscopic plastic particles. They say the average American adult consumes a credit card's worth of plastic every week. According to new research from the University of Victoria, that's between 126 and 142 tiny particles of plastic ingested daily, not to mention the other 132 to 170 plastic bits we inhale. And you'll never believe this, but turns out that's bad. And it gets in everything. It gets into our bodies, yet we still can't imagine living without it. It's just so damn cheap and convenient, not to mention the havoc plastic waste wreaks on our environment. Right now, though, you're probably thinking, Well, I do my part by recycling. Oh, great. And the fantasy we all picture in our minds goes a little something like this. I throw all my plastic into the recycling bin. The magic truck comes and takes it all the way to the magical place where my yogurt cups become a new pair of sneakers and my Ziploc bags become a shiny new park bench for grannies to sit and feed the pigeons. Such a caring, gentle soul. I'm so glad I got glad bags to make this moment possible. Hey, wake up. Nope. The sad reality is only a small percentage actually ends up being renewed. Around less than a quarter of all plastic produced by scratch materials. The other 75% just gets thrown into landfills or dumped in the ocean. Not only is it as obvious as simple observation, but there's plenty of science to back it up. We have to make clean, green, renewable energy cheap, easy, effective, and convenient. We need to reduce air emissions to protect ozone damage. We need to start making all of our products and packaging easily recyclable or compostable. We need to stop using toxic chemicals like formaldehyde, mercury, lead, asbestos, and BPA, which can leach into our food and water. Businesses should get rid of their offices, having their employees work from home to reduce emissions from commuting. We need better public transportation all over the country that don't use combustion engines. We should have electric cars for every American and solar panels for every rooftop of every household. We need to stop factory farming, which abuses animals, feeds us diseased meat or animal byproducts, while contributing to greenhouse gases by mass breeding cattle. I'm all about plant-based protein like Impossible Meats, someday beginning to being able to grow animal muscle tissue at a cellular level, or at the very least demanding humane, healthy, and ethical farming. We should adopt LED vertical agriculture like in Japan to grow tons of produce in a small space, greatly reducing the amount of land and water needed to grow crops and completely void the use of pesticides. In fact, I'd vote to make chemical pesticides and artificial fertilizers and any types of GMOs illegal in this country. And even go a step further to make addicting food additives like high fructose corn syrup or artificial preservatives illegal, like most countries in Europe. The crap we ingest into our bodies so they can make our brains crave their products like crack and keep them on the shelves longer to increase their products. Bread isn't supposed to last 4 months, people, even if you wrap it twice. I'm just thinking, why aren't we all so much more pissed off about this? This level of abuse and our planet that we and our planet receive every single day. How numb have they made us? I can only hope as time marches on, we become more aware and make more noise about these things we refuse to tolerate from the system we put in place to look out for us. We're all tired of our home planet being ransacked and our bodies being poisoned on a daily basis. And then when you get some disease or cancer, they say, oh, well, sucks to be you. I know I'm not going to shut the fuck up about this till something changes and we prioritize the well-being of humanity over the well-being of Wall Street. And I encourage all of you to keep making as much noise as you can and stand up for what we believe in. When we use our voices and our actions and enough people threaten to vote these fucks out of their jobs, that's when, hopefully, we'll see some positive change. And maybe the light at the end of the tunnel won't be the headlight of a freight train ready to pummel us into extinction. Stay healthy, stay aware, and stay loud. We love you so much, people. That's it. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us all season long. I want to thank Lorenzo Antonucci, Eva Steele, Dan Catullo, and all of you stop, drop, and talkers out there. Please like, subscribe, and tune in this summer for the triumphant season 4 return of your clean and ethical dose of mental clarity. PPA free.
Season.
See you next season, everybody. Good night.
Stop, drop, and talk.
COVID-19.
COVID-19.
I blow the wind of God.
The wind of God.
On you.
On you.